And so when a guy falls hard first like that, we all love that. Hey guys, what's up? It's Ashley. Welcome back to my channel. I am here with baseball romance recommendations. I did this video about a year ago, so I decided just to do an updated one. I think I have 1 or 2 books from that video that I'm going to include in this one just because it still stands as one of my favorite baseball romances. And I wanted to do this video also because baseball romances are harder to find. It is baseball season, and me personally, I am really burned out and tired from hockey romances. It's really all you can find right now. So I read in the last week 8 baseball romances in a row. I'm not going to talk about all of them. I'm just going to talk about the ones that I really liked the best, the ones that I think stand out. Then I'm going to include a book that I included in my last baseball recommendation video. So without further ado, here are those recommendations. All right, so I'm going to start off with The Third Baseman by Lulu. This is the one that is currently popping off on TikTok, on Instagram. That is how it caught my radar. It is a new release. And it has really, really good reviews, and I can see why. So this is a second chance romance, and I know that some people's gripes in their reviews that they didn't like the flashbacks in the first half of the book. I actually didn't mind it. I thought it built a lot more tension to the characters and just added more depth to them. So our 2 main characters are Jupiter and Marnie, and Jupiter plays for the MLB. He is a pro baseball player, and he dumped Marnie the day that he was drafted. And they happened to be in high school at this time, and they were so in love. And he just told her that now that he is going to be famous, she is not it for him. And then you flash forward 10 years later, and Marnie has now acquired a job working for the baseball team that he plays for. She is this really, really smart science girl. She's very into sciencey things.
I swear to God, I'm smart.
She worked for NASA at one point, and she was brought to this team by Jupiter because he is so desperate to get her back. And so you're gonna find out in flashbacks what led to these two not being together anymore. But I really liked this story. Jupiter was just full-on obsessed with Marnie from the get-go. He made it very clear from the beginning that his intentions were that he brought her to this team to get her back, and obviously she has a lot of hatred for him. So for a second chance romance, this was great. For a baseball romance, this was great. There was a lot of baseball aspects to it. And we have Stealing Home by Reilly. This is the 3rd book in the Beyond the Playbook series. It is a 3-part companion novel series. I think there's a 4th coming out covering the sister. But the first 3 are a group of brothers. They share the same house. They go to the same college. They all play a different sport. So the first book is football. The second one is hockey. And then third, we have baseball. So this is going to cover Sebastian and Mia. And they were teased a little bit at the end of book 2 because Mia is the best friend of Penny, who is our female main character in book 2, and they have this friends with benefits relationship. It is reverse Grumpy Sunshine. Mia does not want a relationship. She doesn't want any of that, and Sebastian, he wants it all with her. What I really liked about this story was Mia had a lot of goals. She's trying to work to study abroad for the next year. She was also telling a lie to her family. I believe her family believed that she was in school to be a teacher, when in reality, she is in school for science, much more complex things. And her family doesn't really support those kinds of goals. I believe she was Italian, so you get a lot of those strong family opinions in that aspect. Now, Sebastian, what's really interesting about his character is he is actually the adopted brother in this group. His biological father was best friends with his adopted father, and when his parents were killed in a car accident, he just got adopted by this family and has always been brought in. Like, it was easy for him to become a part of this family. And his dad was a pro baseball player and his mom was a chef, and so he's really good at baseball, and he's also really good at cooking. And he has this internal battle throughout the book that he's not quite sure that he wants to play baseball pro. Like, he might want to be done after college and just cook. And so there's a lot of conflict with that, but I really enjoyed the book. It was a nice, quick, easy read. Then we have Don't You Dare by C.E. Ricci. This is a baseball romance. This is a friends to lovers college romance. I really liked this one. So this is going to be where both of our main characters are exploring their sexuality. It is more so one of them than the other. So basically what happens in the prologue, they've been best friends their entire lives. They are at a party and they are dared to kiss each other. And it kind of awakens something in Keen. He feels something. And so you flash forward some years and he's kind of always thought this in the back of his mind. And it comes out to his best friend, Aspen, who he had kissed, that he thinks that he's bisexual. And Aspen, being the best great friend that he is, he decides to let Keen explore all of those things with him personally. And they use this game. They have this game with each other their whole lives called Don't You Dare. And Keen kind of uses that to get Aspen to open up more. And I just really enjoyed the story. It was really nice getting in both of their heads because obviously both of them were fully exploring their sexuality there, but it really, really made for an interesting read. Keen was the one that was the baseball player, and there was a lot of baseball to it because Keen also has this thing on the side where he is on a dating app and he is talking to a guy and he finds out that that guy is one of his teammates. So there's a little bit of conflict and drama there, but I really did enjoy the story. Okay, then I have Dirty Curve by Meagan Brandy. This was in my first baseball recommendation video, but I still love this one. I think it's still my favorite baseball romance that I have read to this day, but I absolutely love it. It is a college romance and it is going to be a tutor type of relationship here. Basically, our main character, he is quite the player. He is quite the playboy. I know there's a lot of negative reviews on this book because they don't like how cocky he is, but I have to say he has growth that I really, really like. And our female main character, she is such a hot mess. All she does is work a bunch of jobs and tutor and go to school, and she doesn't really have time for anything else. She makes that very, very clear to our main character, and he kind of is very intrigued with the fact that she is a hot mess and doesn't have time for anything else. And so he kind of makes it his mission to figure out what is going on with her. Once he does, it's very, very sweet how he inserts himself into that role and helps her out. But I really, really enjoyed this story. It was fun. It was good. It had drama. I really liked it. Then we have All Your Fault by Kristin Lee. This is going to be another college one, and this time our female main character, she is an elite gymnast, so you have that fun aspect to it. And then Hagen, our male hero, he is the college baseball player, and this is very much like he falls very, very hard for her, and she is very skeptical because at the beginning of the story, she was dating a baseball player and they broke up in not so good terms. And so she's just very skeptical of any kind of baseball player, any kind of athlete. And so when these two meet, he's really, really intrigued with her, and she's quite a bitch to him. And he's very thrown off by that. And he's very much a cinnamon roll boy. Like, you can tell from his scenes with his family and everything that they've all been raised to treat women with respect and kind of fall head over heels. And so he's just very taken back by her being so nice to everyone around her, but him specifically. And she also, at the beginning of the story, she tears her ACL, so she's got an injury to overcome, and she blames him for her injury. And it's just funny in that way and really cute, but I really liked the story. And like I said, he loved her. He's obsessed with her. And so when a guy falls hard first like that, we all love that. Then we have Hey Batter Batter. This follows Ellie and Samuel is a professional baseball player. He plays for the MLB, and Ellie owns a bakery, and she is the only girl in a family full of brothers. And so the only social interactions that she really has are with her brothers. They're all very overprotective of her because I believe her mother died. And so they just all really look out for her. And Samuel, he has a very bad playboy reputation for baseball. And his agent and the team has kind of told him that one more screw up, one more fight, one more bad report from a woman bad-mouthing you, and you're done. We're dropping you from the team. And one night he gets into a bar fight. And so he kind of has to hide from the press and everything. And so he ends up hiding out in Ellie's bakery at like 3 o'clock in the morning. And he's very intrigued by her and she's very intrigued by him. And so a few nights later, he ends up going back to the bakery to just kind of check her out and everything like that. And he ends up helping her and they develop a very good friendship because obviously she doesn't want to get with him because she misunderstands his no more women clause as he can't be with another woman. But what he really meant by that was no more women he's supposed to like be rude to. So I really liked it. And then you had her brothers and some of them were like such fanboys of him. And then one of them was not quite. But I really liked the relationship. And then I also want to add that this does have forced proximity one bed trope because at the beginning of the story, when he is helping her out in her bakery, she breaks her foot and she happens to live above her bakery. And the only way to get into her apartment is by a ladder. And he's like, well, that's unacceptable. I live across the street, so come live with me. And he happens to have a studio loft with one bed. So it's a great time. We love it. It was a fun read. Then last up, I have Southpaw by Ginger Scott. This is an enemies to lovers relationship, and this is going to be about a minor league team. So Sutter is the daughter of the head coach, and Jensen is the new pitcher for the team. And Sutter is finishing up her master's, and she wants to be like a mental coach or something like that. And prior to the story starting, she had helped her boyfriend with mental coaching. She helped him with his pitching because he played for her father and he ended up getting called up to the majors and dumping her. They were engaged and now he's engaged to someone else. So she's just very bitter towards baseball players. So Jensen is the new player and he ends up moving in with her brother because he didn't have anywhere else to go and her father kind of hooked him up with that. And so she's just mad about that. But then she notices Jensen and his playing style and she thinks, you know what? He could be a great new case study because she needs a thesis to graduate. And so she kind of ends up chasing him around and asking him. He's really annoyed by her, I have to say, because their first time that they met, she was going to her brother's apartment. She was drunk. She was going to crash there. And she thought he was like following her. And I think she like pepper sprayed him or something. And so he just has a lot of resentment towards her. I found it really funny in the book because he was constantly like, you don't live here, go away. And she's like, I have a key. And he's like, give it back. And so they really did have an enemies to lovers banter, but I really enjoyed the story. He just had a lot of, like, he was really going through things where he really had to fight his mind and his inner demons and everything. And so her mental coaching really came in handy. And so it's really funny because at the beginning he's like, you are such a crack, like this is not what this is. And so I really enjoyed the story. It was fun. It was a good enemies to lovers romance. I will say it was quite the slow burn. You're not gonna get anything until about 80%. It was very Mariana Zapata in that instance, but the banter up until then, it was a great buildup. It really felt like the payoff was rewarding. Like it wasn't, quick. I've read a lot of enemies to lovers relationships lately, and I just feel like the enemies part is like 20% of the book. But this one, it just felt worth it. Alrighty, well, that is going to do it for my baseball romance recommendations. If you stuck around this long, I highly appreciate it. Leave a baseball emoji if you did. If you have read any of these books, let me know if you liked them, if you did not like them. If you have any more baseball recommendations, drop them down below. I am always looking for more. But as always, don't forget to hit like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!